Good morning, guys. It's another beautiful spring morning here in Zurich, Switzerland. It's about in the low to mid 60s. Yesterday was a great day. Took it easy, just kind of explored the downtown Zurich area, walked around, ate at one of the coolest restaurants that used to be held for the armory war equipment. Today, on the third day, I'm gonna be taking a train over to Grindelwald, which is where the Swiss Alps are going to be. I'm looking forward to spend a couple of days over at the Swiss Alps. I'm kind of going to miss my little room here that I had at my hotel here in Zurich, because every morning, if you can hear in the background, the birds are chirping. Last night I left my little window. All throughout the night I could hear the birds chirping. It was a very good sound to fall asleep to. Guys, I just finished eating at Cafe Elena. Really good food, didn't know what to expect. Just kind of looked up what is the best place to eat where you can get authentic Swiss breakfast. And this was just one of the options. I know I already had part of the Swiss breakfast yesterday. Anybody that knows me, or if you don't know me, another good way to get to know me is I love salmon. So behind me, that's the train station I'm about to take to Swiss Alps, to Grindelwald. It's going to take me about an hour and a half to 2 hours approximately just to take train ride to go over there. I'm going to see if I can get a pass, because you can get a pass for 10 days. And since I'm going to be taking a train to Geneva and staying there for a couple of days, and then from Geneva, I'm going to be taking a train later in the week all the way back here to Zurich to spend one last night before I fly out to go back to JFK International Airport. Guys, behind me, this is where the Zurich, Switzerland tours are, and this is where you could buy your train pass. You could buy individual train tickets, but they happen to be a little bit more expensive. I ended up buying Swiss pass for the entire country of Switzerland, and then there's my ticket. They also give you like a little survey to take afterwards. I'm going to be taking the train now to platform 31 to go towards Interlaken first, and then from there I'm going to take a small train which is transferred within like 8 minutes, and then from Interlaken I'm going to go straight to Grindelwald where the Swiss Alps are. Since Zurich HP train station is one of the largest ones here in Switzerland, you got to be careful where you're going. Like for me, for instance, since I'm going to Interlaken, I'm looking for platform 31, which by that sign, I got to go this way to get to platform 31. And then my next platform is 2B once I get to Interlaken. And like I said, from there, I only have about 8 minutes to change trains, because if I miss that train, I got to wait another almost half hour to an hour to get to my next destination. Got to my platform 31. Just gotta wait. I'm a little bit early. I still have about 40 minutes before the train arrives. So this is not my train. This is for another route. But while I'm waiting, I wanted to mention something else. If you by accident get on the wrong train or on a wrong route, you will be charged 100 Swiss francs as a penalty. So make sure you pay attention to whether you can read German or not. It is your responsibility as a foreigner or local citizen to figure out which train you're supposed to be on. That is something that they do not really tolerate here in Switzerland. I just got lucky because I met a friendly train conductor that actually did not charge me a fee. When I first got to Zurich Airport, what I did is by accident to Winterhurt, and that is about 10-15 minute ride all the way from Zurich Airport to Winterhurt. Just got on the train, so hopefully I'm taking the right one. I'm not quite sure. Yep, I went the wrong way. That's not my train. I'm waiting for another one. I came to a whole other city here. When the train conductor passed by and asked me for my ticket, I showed it to her, but the ticket ended up being something completely different. And she politely just said, you must change your ticket and you have to pay for a new one. So the first time I paid from Zurich to Zurich HB terminal here, originally from Zurich Airport, it was supposed to cost me 7.5 Swiss francs, but because I went to Winterhurt, it cost me an additional 14.5 Swiss francs. So I overpaid, but it's a valuable lesson that I learned that I will try not to do it ever again. So one of the other things, when you do buy your pass, like this pass that I bought, it's valid for 8 days anywhere in the country of Switzerland. There's different types of passes you can buy. There are some passes you could buy that are 15 days, 20 days for the entire month, depending on what package you choose. And every package is different. This one right here that I bought, I'm also qualified to go, most of the Switzerland museums, I'm qualified to go for free because I bought this train pass for the next 8 days. Again, look at your options when you do choose to travel to Switzerland. And if you need to, go ask at the little kiosk. And just find out what are the best options for you. This is just what I chose. You might be choosing something completely different, so I don't want to recommend you the wrong thing. Just know that if you're going to buy a pass, you are getting a lot more for your money. Something else I want to share with you too. I might have shared this before when I went to Singapore back in October of 2023. If you have any US credit card that you're using internationally, it doesn't matter which country it's in. One thing I strongly recommend, I'm not a financial advisor, but just from my personal experience, make sure that you do not ever select US dollar as method of payment, because any country, they're gonna recognize that you're using a US credit card and they're gonna offer you to pay either with US dollar or with their currency. For instance, my train pass with Switzerland train department for the next 8 days, I chose to pay with Swiss franc. Keep in mind, when you travel anywhere in the world, no matter where it is, for the most part, if you're presented with an option to pay with US dollars or where they present you with their own currency, always select the country you're going to be visiting, select their currency method of payment. Do not ever select US dollar because they're going to charge you more.
Steigen bitte um. Next stop, Schwyz. Passengers traveling to Zweisimmen, Frutigen, Kandersteg.
Guys, I'm in Interlaken. We're about to get off. My final stop before I have to go to Grindelwald. just want to show you, this is my train compartment on the second floor. They do offer a mini bar kitchen that you can order pretty much anything. It does cost a little bit extra, but for the sake of the views, it's totally worth it. Like my tea was about 5.5 Swiss francs. It's about 6 to 6.5 US dollars. All the way from Zurich to Grindelwald, you don't have a lot of time, but just remember, if you're coming from Zurich, you want 2B, and then this the train. They're leaving in about 3 to 4 minutes. They really don't give you that much time from the time you depart Zurich to get to here. Hey guys, welcome to Grindelwald. This is where I'll be staying for the next couple of days. I'll try to take better pictures of and video of my hotel view, but this is, I didn't realize when I booked this how close I am to the train. Like there's the train that I just took, and my hotel is right there, Hotel Bel Air Eden. Now, keep in mind, you know, the hotels are set up differently here, so I booked another twin bed, but for the sake of being in the most beautiful place in the world, I couldn't pass this up. And my total cost for this was only 285 Swiss franc, and that includes taxes. Roughly translated to US dollar, that's about $300, so you're averaging about $100 a night. For a view like this, I'm actually surprised that for this weekend I got it booked for $100 a night. It should be way more. So anyway, that is my hotel. The hotel's called Hotel Bel Air Eden, so I'm looking forward to show you guys what it looks like inside.
Track 1, the regional train to Grindelwald Terminal, Interlaken Ost.
My cozy little hotel room, twin bed here in Grindelwald at Hotel Bel Air Eden. Beautiful both views. I got 2 windows, even though the room is small, but it's just me. I don't need to have a fancy room or anything like that. I mean, the views, I mean, you can't beat the view here. Let me flip the camera over so you guys can see it. So there's one of my window views. The one thing I love about most of Europe has this. I know when I grew up in Russia, this was also the same thing. The window door operation, you could do it like this, where you open it sideways, or if you pull the handle straight up, it opens from the top, so you get a nice cool breeze. Leave the window open like that from the top. Let me show you this window. Okay, too. I just gotta say, I mean, this is incredible. I'm looking at this. I'm gonna let you guys see it in a second. I mean, I almost want to cry how beautiful this is. I mean, for the price, for those of you that are price conscious, I would say this is the one time, if you're going to choose to stay at the Grindelwald Hotel, You know, some people may want to choose more because there are hotels that are way more expensive than this. But if you're a single traveler, I would say don't worry about the price so much. Sometimes the pictures on the websites, through the hotel websites that you book, or through third-party websites, sometimes the pictures do not do their justice. So again, as you can see, this is my bed, and then I'm going to open the door. This is going to be my view for the next couple of nights, couple of days. And also, before I forget, this door does the same thing. You pull the handle upwards and it tilts downward. And by the way, too, I love this setup because this reminds me, this is my kind of thing. Anybody that knows me, growing up in the orphanage in Russia, just as a childhood, this honestly, this makes me feel at home. I mean, even though it's a smaller bed, but again, being for one guy, this kind of setup where it looks like a lodge/village setup, this is definitely, or cabin, this is my definitely kind of environment. I would gladly give up my city life to be in an environment like this, where it's peaceful, there's no airplane noise, no car noise, no pollution. I'm not like an environmentalist, but this would definitely be my kind of environment where it's laid back, very quiet, peaceful. All you hear is just nature, birds chirping. The way you open or lock or unlock the door, here I'm going to flip the camera to show you, is you actually have to use your key the same way, the same key that opens the door, you have to lock it also. So that's kind of interesting and unique. Guys, let me show you real quick. I'm trying to stay quiet because it's already 7 o'clock at night. There are more of my hotel here. That's my hallway to get to my room. And then this way, I'm going to flip the camera. You go down the stairs. And my room is technically, or floor is the first floor, because in Switzerland it's a little bit different. You've got the 0th floor, and then this is the first floor. You also have an option for an elevator right here if you want to do it. But since my floor is on the first floor, there's the stairs to go up. But I'm going downstairs. Let me show you some of the things going downstairs. This is the ground level. This is where I leave my room key to room 16. I put this in, and then I take my key, because this key will allow me to get in after dark. So I have to unlock the door every time. So it's kind of a unique experience to come to this hotel, is you have to trade one of your keys right here for another one. Never had this happen before, but you know what? I do already like this setup. Couple of hours before it gets too dark here, and since I've only arrived here a few hours ago, I want to just walk around and explore. I don't have exactly an idea what I'm going to do over the next couple of days, but I definitely know I got to do something interesting. But wow, as I'm looking at all this, like the mountains right there, I would gladly trade my city life for this. The fresh air, to be able to hear the nature in the background, this is definitely a picturesque view that you can't get anywhere else in the city, at least. As I'm exploring and just walking around for the next couple of hours before it gets too dark, as I take a breath, it reminds me so much of my Russian orphanage where I grew up, because my orphanage was in the village. So I definitely would smell not just nature, but more like farmland and farm animal smells. So this brings, as I take with every deep breath, this brings a lot of memories from my childhood. Guys, the other thing I want to tell you is any hotel you choose here in Grindelwald, and again, I'm no expert by any means, it's just these are all my first impression thoughts about Grindelwald, which I'm already in love with it. Zurich I loved because it was a big city, but I'm more of a, I don't want to say I'm a country guy, but this is definitely my kind of environment. But with the hotels, any hotels you choose, because there's a bunch of hotels behind me, there's cabanas, lodges, any hotels you choose around Grindelwald, I'm gonna, so you guys can see my background, as you can see, you can't go wrong with any hotels that you choose. You're still getting, I mean, picturesque view that you can't get anywhere else. I can already see myself, because when I traveled to a country like I was in Singapore, probably within the first few 24 hours, I can already tell that Singapore is a place I want to return to. And now that I've been to Grindelwald for the first couple of hours, I got here around 5:45 on the train, and it's already just about 7:15 p.m. It's a very solid decision that I'm making, that I definitely see myself returning here for sure. Even if it's for a weekend or for a couple of days, this is definitely well worth returning to. As I'm walking downhill to just explore a little bit of Grindelwald for a few hours here, you know, I'm noticing too, like if you're somebody that's looking to, you know, live here, or if you are living here, this is a pretty good setup, because you've got a gas station here. I just passed another one just up the hill a little bit, and then you can't really see the railroad tracks, but that's the train that brought me over here. So really, you know, I don't know what the cost of living is. I'm not going to exaggerate and pretend like I know it, but I feel like if I lived here and I had a car here, I wouldn't have to fill up as much, because I can always take the train. And the train, you can buy a, like I said, an 8-day pass, a 2-day pass. They probably have a whole 30-day pass. You wouldn't have to spend as much in terms of transportation if you say want to go to downtown Zurich, or if you want to go to any major city, even to Geneva. Geneva is going to be my next place I'm going to be going to in 3 days. But overall, I mean, if I had to choose to live in the middle of the country of Switzerland, this would definitely be it. It's very quiet, very secluded. I got to tell you, as somebody that works from 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. normally every day, it's refreshing, and I have to stop at gas stations usually in the middle of the night to get coffee or to fuel. It's kind of refreshing to see. It's 7:45 right now at nighttime, and they're already closed. I mean, I'm sure you can get fuel, but it is refreshing to see that in a smaller environment that, you know, they close early. I'm not sure if this is how it is in Switzerland, but I know like on weekends, because it is Saturday night right now, certain places in Switzerland, they're not even open past certain time. Or like in downtown Zurich, where I got breakfast yesterday morning, this morning I went to the same place and they were closed. It must be customary for some parts of Switzerland that on Saturdays they're closed, and some of the buildings and businesses are not open on weekends.